What's going on, everyone? So we just wrapped up Lakers Media Day, and it was a great kind of insight look. A lot of kind of questions still, right? I thought a lot of the questions this Media Day weren't great. I felt like they didn't really target the points about the team specifically. It was a lot of just like, well, you guys are back and it's the same team and the media thinks this and the noise outside. How do you feel, right? Rather than like getting into the meat and potatoes of this actual season, ways for guys to improve. Like, what have you been working on? How are you fitting? Like, what are your thoughts on this team? Can you compete? Like, do you think you need something? Like, do you need a center? Right? Like, I don't know. There's just a million things that I felt like could have been asked that was never asked or addressed as far as like the basketball side of things go. It was just kind of like, how you doing? How you feeling? Right? Everyone's back. You think that'll help? Like, sure. Yeah. Chemistry. Right? Like, but I want to dive into all of the key points and takeaways or things that I thought were significant takeaways. Like, for example, JJ Redick, a lot of points with him and kind of just how his preparation and the differences between him and Darvin Ham, you can clearly see in these interviews from these players. But in this video, I want to specifically talk about Dalton Knecht. I was very disappointed. So, for those that didn't see it, they had the two rookies together, doing their interview together. On most occasions, that's fine. Most occasions, you do the two rookies, it all works out, it's all good. But this isn't a normal occasion. The other rookie is LeBron's son. Everybody knew. Everybody. The media, the Lakers, everybody knew all of the questions would pertain to Bronny, and all of the questions would be the same question over and over and over again. Like, even Bronny's laughing. Like, again, it's cool, right? Like, every question was like, so you're playing with your father, right? How does that feel? Like, can we ask some basketball stuff, right? Like, have somebody ask the one question, right? Like, the media people couldn't have talked and been like, hey, who wants to ask the Bronny question? All right, ask the Bronny question. Go in depth in the Bronny question. The Bronny LeBron question. And then let's get to actual basketball questions. What's your role? What is your plan? Are you playing in the G League all season? Or have they relayed to you that you actually have a chance at a roster spot? Right? Like, do you plan on playing alongside LeBron? In basketball sense, sure, right? Not just like, oh, are you excited to play alongside? Like, no, like, how do you see you and LeBron working on the court together if you two share the court, right? Are you going to play on ball? Is he going to play on ball? Or have you ever played alongside LeBron in any capacity to where you guys have this built-in chemistry, right? Like, I don't know anything other than like, how does it feel that LeBron's your dad? Like, and I felt like they did Dalton Knecht so dirty. Like, they even joked about it when they sat down. Bronny was like, oh, all the questions are going to be for you. And he was like, no, they're not. They're going to be for you. And Dalton's just sitting there with the mic, just like it sucked. Bronny James is expected to play all season in the G League, right? He's addressed that in previous interviews. The Lakers have talked about that in previous interviews. Dalton Knecht's the guy that has a real chance at not only a rotation spot, but to really have an impact on this roster immediately. He's a guy that could win Rookie of the Year this year, right? Like, and instead of asking some real questions about basketball, it was all about LeBron James and Bronny James, which you knew was going to happen. I'm more disappointed in the Lakers organization than I am the media, because the media, they don't care. Right? The media just wants the headline. Oh, I asked a question about Bronny James and LeBron. Look at this. Like, they don't care about the basketball sense. They care about LeBron James and Bronny James. That's the headline. That's the mainstream. That's what they want to get across, right? But as somebody that wants to hear the basketball side of things, as I'm sure many of you do as well, right? Like, I would have liked some actual basketball questions. I would have liked some actual insight. Dalton Knecht, what is your role? How do you think you can impact this team? Do you think that you have a real shot at getting a training camp, right? Like anything, I don't know. If I can come up with stuff off the top of my head on the fly, you're telling me these reporters that do this for a living can't come up with something? There was no real questions for Knecht. They were all just like, how do you feel about your rookie season? Like, can we it's frustrating. And again, I'm disappointed in the Lakers because the Lakers knew that was going to happen. The Lakers knew Bronny James was going to get all of the questions, and all of the questions were going to be goofy questions that were just the same question, just phrased in a different way. And that's what it was. It was the same question. Like, they didn't even ask Bronny basketball questions. It was just all like, how do you feel? You're here and your dad's here. Like, and he's just like, it was surreal. It was cool, right? Like, oh, okay, well, now that you and your dad are on the same team, how do you feel? Like, it's the same question. You just phrased it differently. Instead of it being for media day, you phrased it for the season. Like, Bronny, what do you see your role? He even mentioned, right? Like, I know what my role is on this team and I'm excited to play it or something along those lines. And no one followed up with like, oh, what is that role? What is it just be a 3-and-D guy? Is it point of attack? Are you going to be a primary playmaker? Are you going to be a ball handler? Are you playing solely off ball as a 3-and-D guy? Right? Did they tell you have a real chance at actually getting rotation minutes? Or did they say like, no, you're spending the year in the G League? Right? Like, nothing. Bronny even gave you some stuff that you could, use to kind of spiral in a basketball sense. And the follow-up question was like, so now that you and your dad are like, what do we do? Like, and this is exactly why so many people are like, Bronny shouldn't be on the team, blah, 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 and all the haters. These kind of things just validate the hate, right? Because again, like, the attention isn't that Bronny James is a basketball player that could impact the basketball team now or at some point. It's he's LeBron's son and they're on the same team. That's great. That's a reality. I get that. But he's also a basketball player. He's not the janitor amongst the same organization as the Lakers. It's not like, LeBron is the assistant coach and Bronny is the player that they drafted it. It's like, how do you guys feel about your dynamic? No, they're on the same team. Bronny James is a basketball player that is going to actually have a role this season one way or another, right? Like, it may be limited. It may only be a handful of games. It may be a lot. I don't know. But like, I would have liked to see some actual basketball insight into Bronny James. And then I would have liked some real basketball insight into Dalton Knecht. Because Dalton Knecht, again, is a guy that can have an immediate impact. He's a guy that was supposed to go as high as 5th in the draft in some mock drafts and some boards and stuff, and went to 17th for the Lakers. I mean, no one even asked a question about that. Like, hey, how do you feel about... Like, it was nothing. It was just Dalton Knecht standing there like this most of the time. And then Bronny James just kind of like, again, this is cool. This is surreal. Like, oh, well, how do you feel that Bronny said you can't call him dad on the basketball court? Like, who cares? Why do I care about that? Why do I care what Bronny calls him? He could call him Keen. Call you Keen Daddy. I don't care what you call him on the basketball court. I care about Bronny James as a basketball player and what he does on the basketball court. I don't care Dalton Knecht, being the other rookie. He's the main rookie. He's the guy that's supposed to make an impact now. I want to know what he can do. And all these interviewers are up there just like with their dunce caps like, oh, okay, let's ask the same question 15 times. What happened to media? What happened to real reporting? What happened to real interviewing? Like, where are the real questions? I mean, it wasn't just Bronny and Knecht, right? All of them. Like, no one asked any good questions. Like, I was just like, man, like, where are the insights into basketball? Right? Like, it's just like, come on, man. It was just so frustrating watching this media day, and I was just like, this isn't even like, what's the point of this? If you're not going to ask real questions, it was literally the same question every single time. It was just like, each player is individual. Each player has specific elements to their game that'll impact this team. I understand the generic, what do you think of JJ Redick? Fine, right? You kind of want to get a feel for that. There are some questions that I don't mind asking every player the same, kind of get a feel for it. I think it was Jovan Buha that kept asking, about the chemistry and, the team, everyone's back. How do you feel about that? Right? Okay, that's fine because, again, it is, and you want to kind of get a feel from each individual player. But I also want to know from each individual player what their role is, what are their thoughts, how do they impact this team, what have you worked on, right? Have you done anything? It's just, it was just so frustrating. And I just feel bad for Knecht, right? Because Knecht's just sitting there just chilling. And he seemed like he knew. I don't think it really bothered him. But it was just as a basketball guy, as somebody that's excited for this Lakers season, as somebody that thinks the Lakers could be very good this year, it's very disappointing to see how this played out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? You excited for this season? Are you not? What'd you think of the media day? What'd you think of the interviews if you saw them? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.